Pray for the Devil, a tale of terror and survival. In the remote town of Ravenswood, an ancient monastery stood forgotten, shrouded in mist and a history of terror. Decades ago, priests had attempted to exorcise a malevolent force, a demon they called Azareth. Their attempt failed disastrously, and the entity was sealed beneath the monastery. But temptation is a dangerous thing. Kara, Ethan, and their three friends, Mia, Lucas, and Rachel, were amateur ghost hunters who had built a small online following by exploring haunted locations. The monastery, with its cursed reputation, was irresistible. On a cold, moonless night, the group ventured into its decaying halls armed with flashlights, cameras, and false bravado. The air inside was thick and foul, like a place where time had rotted away. Shadows flickered across walls with no discernible light source, and faint whispers followed them, growing louder the deeper they ventured. The group reached the central chamber, a grand hall with a massive iron door engraved with cryptic symbols. Rachel, the most daring of the group, touched the door. A sudden roar of wind erupted, extinguishing their lights. The door groaned open on its own, revealing a black void. Screams erupted as unseen forces flung Rachel across the room, her body contorting unnaturally before she went still. Ethan shouted, but his voice was drowned out by a guttural growl that emanated from the darkness. Azareth had been released. The entity took no solid form but manifested as a cloud of living shadows, twisting into grotesque, humanoid shapes that lunged at the group. Lucas screamed as one of the figures plunged shadowy claws into his chest, leaving behind a withered husk. Kara grabbed Mia and Ethan, pulling them into a side room. Inside, they found an old journal left by one of the priests. It detailed a ritual to trap Azareth, but the instructions were incomplete, the last page missing. The trio debated their options as Azareth's whispers grew louder, promising torment and eternal suffering. "I don't want to die here," Mia sobbed. "We won't," Kara said, her voice steady despite her trembling hands. Using what they could decipher from the journal, the group prepared the ritual in the central chamber. But Azareth wasn't going to let them succeed easily. Lucas's mangled body stood up, his face twisted into a mockery of life, as Rachel's voice begged for help from the shadows. As the ritual reached its climax, Azareth lashed out, its shadowy tendrils enveloping Mia and pulling her into the void. Kara screamed but continued chanting, tears streaming down her face. The room erupted in light as the final word left her lips. Azareth let out an inhuman wail, and the shadows collapsed into the void, sealing the entity once more. In the aftermath, only Kara and Ethan emerged from the monastery. They left the town immediately, their friendship forever scarred. Months later, Kara received an envelope with no return address. Inside was the missing page from the journal, accompanied by a single line: "It was never over." Do you dare to uncover more chilling tales? Like, share, and follow for the next terrifying chapter.